start
Okay,
recording.
perfect.
Okay, so you introduce yourself. So I think you should start your presentation regarding community platform, and if participants want to turn off their video and to have lunch meantime, it's okay. Thank you for your attendance at our 12th ELISA Knowledge Bite. My name is Diana Robescu. I'm from University Polytechnic of Bucharest. I'm VP9 leader, and probably you know about ELISA project. I don't think we can say more because I think we know each other. So I leave the floor to Aike to present the platform. And if you have questions, please use the chat and also raise your digital hand. And I can try to answer to your questions. So thank you. Please, Aike, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Diana. Yeah, I think we're like a very familiar family-based round today, but I'm happy that you're still interested in the platform. I already shared the link to the platform in the chat so that you can also access it yourself. The ELISA Community platform, the idea is to give ELISA communities a window where they can present their activities, where they can present their challenges, where they can state their mission, where they can follow their members, and also to give badges on the platform. I know that the platform is not perfect yet, but I think we're already in a stage where we can publish it, where we can work on it while using it. So how I didn't prepare a presentation, but I would just guide you through the platform yourself, and I hope that everything will work. I also prepared a Miro board where you can leave comments and where you can find the links to the platform. Just give me a second that I will share the board. Hope it works with this link. Does the Miro board work for you? Perfect. So there you can find the links for the platform again. We also prepared a tutorial how to use the community platform for the editors. So how can you address, or where can you find the ELISA community platform? There are two ways. Either way, you go directly by the link that I posted in the chat, or you can also find it on the ELISA main page. If you go to the ELISA website, you go to communities, it will directly lead you to the ELISA platform, to the web page. First of all, I want to give you like a user view. You can see my screen, right? Perfect. So it starts here on the main page as a user. You get to the page, you can say, okay, I want to discover the communities. Here you find all the 34 communities that we've got at the moment, and you can search for them either way by text. So you can say, okay, I'm interested in materials or something, and it will show you the communities dealing, or that have in their mission statement or in their title the word material will show up. Or you can also say, okay, I'm very interested into, I don't know, cities and communities, or one of the SDGs, quality education, let's say reduced inequalities, and it shows you all the communities that are tagged with this SDG. So here you can find the communities. If you're interested in a community, you can just click on it. So let's take, for example, just take the first one. So the main view of the platform is open to all the users, but if you want to see more details, you have to register on the platform. And here I would be happy if you could click on sign up the EduGain. So we're still working on bringing this button to the top, because with EduGain, it's the same service that EduRoam uses. All the users from the ELISA universities can log in with their local login credentials. So here you get to the identity provider, and I'm from Friedrich Alexander University, so I will click on this. I can say, okay, log in, and I can just, I'm directed to my login page, and I can just use my local login credentials that I'm using for all the university services at our university as well. So I can log in, and once I'm logged in, it says you've been logged in. Okay, I'm on the platform, so now I'm allowed to see details of the communities. So I can click on a community. Here on top, you can read the mission statement of the community. You can also say read more, or you scroll down. If there would be more text, it would be shown here. On the right side, you can see the community partners. These community partners will be updated automatically once an activity is proposed or published on the community page with these partners. So for example, in this community, there are activities provided by UPM, ITU, and UPB. And this is why they show up here in the field. If there would be a new activity provided, for example, also by PSL or, I don't know, BME, they would also show up here as a partner. You can join and leave a community. It's very easy. Just click on the button. At the moment, it's not possible to show here the members of the community. You just see the numbers, but this will be updated next week, that you can also see the profiles of the other members. If you want to see the details of an activity, you have to join the community. So if I'll click here now, I just left the community, it says you have to join. So I join the community, and you can see the details of an activity. There's like a very basic description here. There are different fields where you can see activity details. So when does it start? Where does it take place? Is there a registration link? Is there an application deadline, and so on? We will go into details right in a second. And here below you, there are also similar activities shown to the one that you're clicking on at the moment. So you can also see similar activities from other communities or in the same community. The activities in the past will be grayed out automatically after they are in the past. So these are the activities that have been conducted last year, and students or interested participants also search. So you can say, okay, I want to participate in a course. It shows only, okay, all of them are taken with the course, but maybe it's a challenge. Then I just see fewer ones. Thesis, just one thesis in this community, but this is where you could filter by activity type. You could again also filter with a free text field, or you could filter with the NSDG you're interested in. Okay, so how do the activities get into the communities? The idea is that, like in a network, in a platform, every user on the platform can propose an activity. So you have to be logged into the platform to propose an activity. So you can click on this button, submit your activity today, and it leads you to a form where activities are published. So the idea is that from all 9 universities, but sometimes also from external partners, somebody could propose an activity to a community. So I'll just do a test to just show it to you quickly. There's some obligatory fields I have to fill, like, for example, the title, of course. I would have to say who is offering the activity. Here I can choose if it's one of the EELISA universities, is it a higher education? I can also choose multiple institutions that are offering the activity. There are some optional fields like the registration form, the link to the info, but obligatory is also who is conducting it. So I need a contact email. It could give some information on the language. It could give information about participation requirements. I need to say, okay, what kind of activity is it? Is it a challenge? Is it a course? In my case, it's a course. I need to say, okay, which SDG addresses, because these are also the filter fields we have for each of the activities. I can say something about the costs. I need to say, okay, when does it start and when does it end? Just to show you, if I'm trying to submit it now, I have to first fill all the obligatory fields. So we'll be redirected to that. And obviously the community in which the activity takes place is also an obligatory field. So I would indicate the community here. I would indicate what's the target group. Is it for bachelor and master students? Is this for researchers, educators, society, non-academic, and so on, or for all? I say this is for master students. I could also add like a picture or a video or links, like something like this. I think now I've filled all the obligatory fields, and I can say, okay, submit activity. And it says your activity has been successfully submitted for approval. So this is like a quality assurance mechanism that the activities are not published automatically, but they go into the backend, and the community coordinators will receive an email. This is also not implemented yet, but we will implement it within the next, I hope, 1 to 2 weeks. It's already actually developed, but it's not on it's at the development stage. It's not on the final stage yet, but that is something we just have to bring to the main stage next week. I will show you in a second, because I think we have also community coordinators here, how it would look like. But this is like the user perspective. On the main page, I can not only find the communities, but I can also find news on the current communities. So here, for example, on the big news, we have like the first job and call that we published for EELISA Communities just 2 weeks ago, but it would be also possible for the communities to add reports or to add like statements, invitations here. So reports of experiences, how did it go? Or some just general articles that matter for all the EELISA communities. So here's like a news section. And here on the top, there's also an about section where people can find more information, what is an EELISA community and how to apply in your community and what are EELISA credentials. So these are like the main frameworks of the EELISA communities. People can find information here. The news section is in the bottom part, but also here on this part you could access it. Moreover, I've got my profile, and once I'm logged in, I can also add like account information. What's my email address? What's my position? What degree program am I enrolled in? What I'm interested in? Yeah. So basically, people can enter information here, and this could also help on the inner course side, for example, to later match researchers or to match people profile-wise or project-wise. All right. Continuing with the activities, we just said, okay, it's basically in the backend for approval. So how to get to the backend? Here, it is important to first log in on this page. So I need to be logged in with my account here, and then I can just add wp-admin/ and I will get to the WordPress backend, because all the whole community page is WordPress based. And I also added this link on my report if you want to find it later on again. So here you get to the backend, and I hope it's easy enough also for users who have not too much experience in the WordPress backend. Here the idea would be that each community names 2 admins for their community. So they can make changes to the community page, they can make changes to the activities, they can approve the activities for the communities here. So that it would be like the basic thing. I think you just need basically this EELISA button here on the left side. You can go to communities. You can search for your community. Marta or Ipek or Annabelle, would one of you would like to name your community?
Our community is Smart Air Mobility.
Okay, Smart Air Mobility. Smart Air Mobility, okay, it's this one. So Marta, so Ipek could find her community here. She could make changes to the text. She could say, okay, it's not really the right SDGs address. She discourse, I will come to that in a second. She could change the contact information. For example, as EELI is dropping out or something, she could add additional links. She could also send a different picture if she doesn't like this one, and so on. So she could like administer her page here. This is also explained in the PDF that is on my report, how to do that. And if she says, okay, now I've done my changes, I don't know, maybe there was a typo or something. She can click on update and it's the site is updated, and she can also do a preview of the page. So this is how her page looks like at the moment. Okay, so this is the area where we can make changes to the communities. If we want to make changes to the activities, it's also under the ELISA button on the left side, and then we go to activities. As I said, here's the activity I just submitted. I just showed you where I filled this submission form, so it comes to the back end, but as a draft, so it's not published yet. And as a community coordinator, I could click on the activity now and say, okay, I didn't edit the description, but here will be a description and say, okay, this activity fits into my community. Okay, looks fine. If I have questions, I could contact this email address and say, it's not clear to me, is the activity supposed to start, I don't know, in April or in May, or who needs to register? But you basically can do like a quick quality check and say, okay, the activity fits. You can also do a preview again here. Say, okay, this is how the activity would look like on my community page. But this one I would not publish, obviously, because it's a little bit little information and students could not work with this, but that's the idea. And if you say, okay, the activity looks fine for me, you can click on publish and it will be published automatically under your community. If the activity provider wants to make changes, he or she has to contact you on the ELISA community page saying, dear community coordinator, we would like to extend the deadline for the activity. Could you change the date to XYZ? This is how we hope that a process can work. So at the moment, we have already quite a lot of activities on the site. It's 176, but there's still lots of them in a draft mode. So the idea would be that the community coordinators would have to go through them to publish them. And as I said, it's not implemented yet, but our process-wise, we imagine that the community coordinator, or the ones that are named for us as an admin, that they will receive an email once an activity is submitted and say, dear EPEC, in your community, there was a new activity proposed, could you please approve it? And then you can just click on the link, can log in, and you can approve it, or you can disapprove it and also delete it or do whatever you want with that. So that is the basic idea here. As I said, the two main categories that matter to you are communities and activities here, but you also can go to posts here and do like a new post if you want to publish an article on your activity. For example, after it was conducted, it could be, for example, an experience report from a student, it could be an experience report from you as a coordinator or from a team, or it could be like an announcement, like there's a prize award or something. Here, I would appreciate it if the language of communication could be English, so that all people can understand it, or that at least there's always an additional English version of the text published. Because otherwise, I think it should be accessible to all university members, and I think the only language that we have in common is English, although we don't have an English partner. Are there any questions at the moment? Do you want to try it out, or does it work for you?
I have just one question, if you don't mind. I can ask. Yes. So the only approval that we need for any kind of activity is done by the community coordinator, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So anything we match in our team or with any request from outside, we just look if we can do it or not, and then approve it and publish it in the website, right?
Yes, but you need to have the rights for that. This is what I'm showing you here.
Yeah.
Are you going to be the admin for the Smart Air?
No, one of my colleagues is the coordinator, Hülya. Hülya Cebeci.
Hülya, like this now?
Yeah. Hülya, I can't see it. Hülya Cebeci is the coordinator.
But she hasn't registered on the platform. So the people have to register on the platform for the first time And once they log in, maybe
I
wrote
think
it wrong.
I don't know. Let me just write it in the chat. She should have registered because she did.
Yeah, I wrote it completely wrong. I wrote it
No
like
problem. I couldn't see it on. Oh, it's a little bit small for me, so I couldn't see it.
Oh, just let me know that I can zoom in. Is it better now?
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, she already registered to the website because she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once she has registered, I need to give her like the role. I need to give the editor role. I can give her the editor role. And now she's got the editor role and she can access this page because not everybody can just automatically access the WordPress backend. Okay. But as I said, it's the idea to have like, in the best case, 2 people per community who get access.
Great, great, thank you.
One question.
Yes.
Yes, you said at least 2 people per community, but is there any maximum?
No, theoretically it would be possible to give the access also to more people. I think I would not increase it too much because you also have the power to like delete, for example, other communities or stuff like this. So we should be aware of who's in the back end or who's using it. I think 2 would be nice because you always have somebody who's on vacation or who's on sick leave or something. So to have like a backup would be important to me.
Yeah, sure.
If it's 3 or if it's 4 or if it's 5, I don't really mind.
Okay.
But Marta, you are also not registered here yet, right? That's not you.
No, not yet, because I'm not a coordinator of my community's tech diplomacy. And there are 2, it's Jose Miguel, that you already know him, and Manolo Sierra. But I have to register them because they are 2 busy men.
I just think they don't.
No, I have to do it for them. Yeah, but we were wondering how many people could be admin.
That's, as I said, up to you, basically.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if you can register them because actually it should work the way that they I log out. I think it remembers me if I log in now. Yeah, I'll just open. Let me open a.
Yeah.
I think because you don't have the login credentials, I just presume because you would click on sign in with the EduGain, then you would say UPM.
Yeah.
And then you would get to this page.
Yes.
So they would have to do it probably themselves. Just one remark that for me, the community admin person does not need to be the community coordinator, because I think sometimes the community coordinators are like the very busy ones, or like they don't have the time. It could be also like, for example, if you have like a working student who's like really good at using WordPress and experience for that, it could also be him or her, but him or her probably could not decide if the community fits into if the activity fits into the community. So yeah, but basically it's just the administration of the site.
Perfect. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Perfect. Now it's really big from my side. I'll just zoom out again. So I missed on, or I didn't explain you one component which you probably already saw. It's the discourse. I'll log in again because I just logged out. Okay, I'm logged in again. Discourse is the communication channel and also the place where we can give the credentials. So if we click on Open Discourse Board, each of the communities has a communication channel. You can either way start new conversations, so you can open up. Oh, then, yeah, you raised your hand, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, just coming back to the activities, I was wondering if it would be possible, or if there's any way to manage the registration process for the activities that are showcased directly through the platform, or if it is foreseen that
At the moment, it's not foreseen. I know that's a feature many people ask us for, but I think we would also have, for example, like a double registration, because you always have to register for the course, and they're also like very different register mechanisms. Sometimes you have to really pay something and you have to transfer money. Sometimes you have like to like write a letter of motivation, or you have to indicate your degrees. So we didn't, at the moment, it's not implemented, it's not foreseen, but we can, or we will have like a second tendering round to implement changes or to implement new modules on the EELISA community platform. And we could use the money we've got in the project to do this, but there are also other things that people ask us to do. So yeah, we should identify in the next weeks what's the most important. What we kind of promised in the project proposal is that we have a more elaborated challenge tool, because at the moment you can choose, or you can choose challenge as one kind of activity, but you don't have this registration process, and you don't have a communication. I mean, you have the communication channels, but it's not very elaborated. If you go to pages like Inosabi or like Egerize, like these challenge providers, there would be a lot of more tools to jointly collaborate on these challenges. So this is something we could implement, but we could also say, okay, we already did it and it's kind of implemented, although it's just like a very low basic version. Then there's some requirements regarding the credentials, that we improve the credential giving process. Yeah, and the registration process. If we say, okay, that is like the basic need, we need to do that, we could do it. I think registration, I mean, it's possible to add a registration link. So people could for example, enter the Microsoft Forms link, for example, there. If they just want to collect information, they could also edit the questions they want to ask for the registration process. Because otherwise, I don't know how we do it, that we find a solution that fits for all registration processes, because the kinds of activities are very different. But there are also many people who ask for that, so yeah, not sure about that.
Yeah, I envision it more as an option rather than something that would be a requirement for all the activities, because of course we'll handle the registration differently, for example, like academic activities. So it would be
I could imagine that we do it. It could be something like the activity submission form, something very basic, that we have also a form where people can register. That you just have the list of the names of the students, you can download email addresses and information like that.
Yes.
Because that would also be the question, what does it mean to like be able to register there? Well, I'll go back to Discourse for a second. So you can start conversations, you can also like, you can reply, you can bookmark, so you get email notification once somebody else is commenting on your post. You can share it, you can flag it. So for example, I could say, okay, I want to bookmark it. Oh no, bookmarking means that I get information on that later, but I can pin it. Yeah, that's basically it, I think. Yeah, here I can say I want to track it and I want to watch it. So for all the posts that come into this category, which is the community, I would get a notification. And here you could find all the communities. If you want to change the picture here, you would have to contact us, because you only have the admin rights for the WordPress site. This is like the Discourse board, and Discourse is an open source software for communication channels or for communication fora. Yeah, but here, for example, if I click on this bell, I could also say, okay, whenever there's a topic coming up in the EELISA Water for Change community, I want to receive a message, I want to receive a notification. I'll just do it for testing. And besides the communities and the communication channels, you also have the badges here. So here there are some automatically badges where we still have to get the information from Work Package 3 if we should keep them or if we should delete them. So they were provided by the system. So you would get a badge for writing a comment, for liking a comment, for doing a first quote, for being active in the communication fora, I would say. And there are also the badges proposed by Work Package 3, which are oriented on the SDGs and the level of commitment or the level of learning outcome level actually. So the EELISA credential will be composed of badges, and there are 85 badges. These 85 badges are a combination of SDG and learning outcome level. So for example, I can say, okay, the student learned something about SDG 1, and it would be on the level of knowledge, or would be on the level of commitment and action. So the first level is discovery, which means that you just get a basic impression. The second level is of knowledge, which means that you receive knowledge about it. Commitment means that you do, for example, like a presentation, or that you do a discussion round or something like this. Action level would mean that you really implement, or that you do something like teamwork, or you do a practical project, or you do experiments. And transformation would be like really with the outcome. But this is handled by Work Package 3. We are just basically, we just putting the badges on the platform. Myself as a user, I could see my badges here. So I do have these 3 badges given by the system. But yeah, it could also be that I already got an EELISA badge. I just go to the badges, and for the badges I can also see who received the badge. So for example, this badge was twice given to Julia as a test. But I'll go to another badge. For example, this is just a badge we created for test. This was given to these people. Also on the backend we have a backend function. This is only accessible for us, so not for all the community leaders. And here you have the category of badges. We can create the badges, and we can also award them. So I could, for example, say, okay, I want to give, let's say, for example, the Sustainable Cities and Communities Level 1 Discovery badge. I want to give it to multiple people. I can say bulk award. And then I have to upload a CSV file. So the idea would be that the community just send us the CSV files with the information which badge they want to give. So I will show you the CSV file in a second. And I say award badge to users. The CSV file was received, and 3 users will receive the badge shortly. So if we go to this badge now, SDG 11 discovery, you can see that these 3 users got the badge, and this is how the CSV file looks like. So it's really basic. You can either way take the name or the email address, but it needs to be the name or email address that they logged in with on the platform. So once the users on the platform, we have the possibility to give badges to them via the platform as well. What we are working on here is that there will be like a download button that you can say, okay, download EELISA credential, and that you will then get automatically the badges, because you might have not only one badge, but you have multiple badges that will be shown in the credential. This is not so elaborated yet. Are there any questions to that? Okay. So at the moment, Work Package 3 plans to do it manually for the activities that already took place last year. But for this year, I hope for the future that we can give the badges here on the platform. All right. Or maybe one last feature I didn't show you. Just go to one of the two Discords. If you want to message somebody, that's also possible. So you can say, Danielle, I want to write an email or a message to Danielle. You can say message. I do have a little bit more functions here because I have the admin rights, but I could say, how's it going with the progress report? Or progress report is the topic. And I could message people on the platform. On to forward. I need to add more text. And then it will be sent to Danielle, who also should receive an email saying, I can wrote you something on this course. Yeah, and he also can reply, he can add a link, he could add a picture, and so on. So it's like not super pretty, but I think it fulfills very good the tasks. And as I said, it's open source, it was for free, so it's also nice. Are there any questions? Do you want to try things out? Because then usually you get like the feedback right away. Is
No questions at the moment, but I need to just spend some time on the website, just do some things, maybe later.
Yeah, I think the best is to try it out, and then you get a feeling for what works, where does it not work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it was a good start. Yeah, good review. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, it will also, this feedback will be also important to us to understand what are the biggest needs of the community. So where should we focus, and yeah, what features are needed the most, what does not work, and so on. Because as I said, we will have like second tendering phase in the summer to do some changes, to do some implement. Yeah, there will be some features that will be implemented anyway within the next days and weeks. But to do like bigger changes, we would have to either way hire a company again, or that's maybe another information. If somebody from ITU, if somebody from UPB, UPM wants to do that internally, we would also have the possibility to spend the money therefore. So we would say, okay, the task is that, please make us an offer. And I think we would not have to do this tendering process then if we do it internally in the alliance, which would be quite nice for us, because doing tendering processes above 10,000 euro is, I think, in Europe, but at least in Germany, is not administrative wise, it's awful.
I get that.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. It was nice for me and very valuable. Hope to see you soon then.
Me too. If there are no other questions, I think we can come to an end here.
There are no questions, just congratulations. It's amazing. The platform is amazing.
Platform is amazing.
So many features. Yeah.
But still work to be done.
I think you receive more questions as soon as communities start to use the platform, because it is learning by doing. So
I'm going to play right now. I'm going to make me admin.
Thank you very much, Eike, for your presentation, and congratulations for the platform. It is very useful for communities and also for the alliance, because communities are the core of our alliance. So it is very important this platform, and to use it to connect with each other, to learn about activities, to be involved in different activities and communities. It is very, very important.
Yeah, we'll share the tutorial on how to edit activities and to edit your community and so on. I will share it with the community coordinators, because that is actually a little bit of shame that there are only the two of you today. So I think we will repeat probably this session, because I don't want to answer like everybody one by one.
Of
Because
course.
then I'm getting like kind of crazy. So
Sure.
maybe we can just repeat it, Diana, also, if you want to
You
say
you can have an on the platform. I don't know, a page with question and answers. Prepared to answer to different questions, to
would be also an
normal,
possibility.
usual.
But I would like have to have it separated from the user's view and the admin's view. So I think there are many admin questions that the normal users would not see.
Okay. If you agree, after our meeting, I send you the link for this recording, and if you want Ike to send to community coordinators the link to see about.
Yeah, I can also give you like the names of the community coordinators, because I think it does not always have to be me who does communication to them.
Okay. Okay, and I'll send them the link with this presentation.
And also the one to the My Report would be great, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you all of you for your time spending with us during your lunch. So I saw that if you have more questions about communities, you can send email. I put email of FAU in the chat. So in 2 weeks, we have another interesting presentation given by Isabel regarding research and related to Innocore. If you can spread the word inside your university with your colleagues, if they are interested in this topic. So we put the registration as usual on ELISA website, and we wait for you for another ELISA Knowledge Bites.
Okay.
So thank you, everybody.
See you.
Thank you, Ike.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Diana. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.